Hello there and welcome to Transfer Rumours, and this is going to be rumours that had to do with Liverpool. So I've kind of decided that I'm going to do two different transfer shows, let's say. Transfer shows or videos. So the one that I did for Fekir, I'm going to rename that one, and I'm going to call that one Transfer News, or maybe like Transfer Analysis, something like that. For when we've definitely got a transfer target that seems like it's a hot target, people are on it, looks like something that could be likely to happen. Then there's going to be this one where I'll round up quite a few, and today obviously I'm going to talk about 5 different names. So we'll call this one Rumours because these ones are certainly not set in stone. There's no real gravitas or, there's nothing really behind it. There's just rumours, names that are thrown out there, and I'll give you some thoughts. So hopefully you like that one. Let me know in the comments if you do like the sound of that, and let's kick things straight off with Ceballos from Real Madrid, I believe it is. He's not really a player I've heard or seen a great deal of. A lot of people turned around last year, we were linked with him then, and apparently he brings quite a lot of aggression, but again, he's not a player that I know a great deal of. Doesn't seem to get a lot of playing time, which is a concern, but obviously with him playing with Real Madrid, you're not really going to be getting a great deal of playing time unless you're of a certain level, like an Isco or Asensio. And to be honest, I'm not even entirely sure what sort of position that he plays in. But regardless, in that team, they're a very strong team in pretty much all areas. So it's going to be difficult to break in unless you are a big talent. I'm not sure on his age either. And if by now, if he's not made it into that Real Madrid team, he probably isn't going to. So again, Ceballos, he's someone that we've been linked to before, but it's always been a bit of a loose link, and people always think, they say about him, or people have said about him, that he seems like quite an entitled player, that he feels he should be doing more, and he should be in this team, like the Real Madrid team, and that is he working hard for it? I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely something that really gets me excited if we are genuinely linked to him, but I don't think that we are. I'm going to scrap that one straight away. So the next ones, and I'm going to say the next ones because I'm going to put them together, and it's one that I would actually be a fan of. I don't know what you guys think, but I would actually be quite a big fan of this one. And the two people that we're linked with from the Premier League, English players, and we're talking about Jamal Lascelles and Tarkowski. Now I say Tarkowski or Tarkowski, however you say it, because I can't remember his first name, but two players from Newcastle and Burnley respectively that have done very, very well. Lascelles, I believe, if I'm right in this, is the captain of Newcastle, and even the season that they got relegated from the Premier League, you could see that he was the player. He was the young player that was coming in, and in a centre-back position as well. He actually looked like a physical presence, and he looked like he was trying to command that team. Now, they've secured, I think it was a top 10 finish this season under Rafa Benitez after a full season in the Championship, where they won the Championship on the final day of the season, I think it was. And he looks like a very, very good centre-back, someone that's quite commanding, someone that likes to take charge. And who else do we have like that? Virgil van Dijk. And I think having someone else that is as commanding, as cool, calm and collected as him is vital to our back line. And the same can be said of Tarkowski, or Tarkowski, I don't know how you say his name. If he's English, it sounds like a Polish name. I work with quite a few Polish people, and yeah, I thought he was Polish at first, but he's not. He was actually up for England contention, so that shows my knowledge of all things England players right there. But yes, he's an English centre-back, and he has done exceptional things. You've seen what Burnley have done this season, how well they've been doing defensively, how well they've done in terms of shielding their goalkeeper, and as good as their goalkeeper has been, that defence has been excellent as well, and he's been a big part of that. And the reason that I would love us to either go out and get one of them, but to be honest, if we could, I'd love us to go out and get both of them, or people of that calibre. And you might be thinking, well, we've got an overload of defenders there, surely. We'd have Lovren, Van Dijk, Klavan, Matip, Lascelles and Tarkowski, which is 6 in total. But in my opinion, Klavan, is he going to stay around if we are looking to bring in better centre-backs? And I'm certainly not slagging off Klavan or Matip, so you might see where I'm going with this one. Will Klavan stay around? I'm not sure. He is someone that sounds like he would put his head through a brick wall for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool but his ability just isn't up to the right level that we would need. So where we've had injuries, so say Matip goes out, or say, God forbid, Van Dijk ever gets injured, we don't have that quality to come in and be like, we're here, we're going to take charge, we're going to take over, you get over your injury, and we're going to come in and we can be confident that they're going to perform well. The same this season especially, could be different next season, because I don't think we would get rid of him. But Joel Matip showed a lot of weaknesses this year before we got Van Dijk in. If you look at it really, when we had to partner Van Dijk and Lovren when both of them weren't playing well, or when they weren't playing well, Klavan was having to come in, and while he was trying his hardest, it wasn't working out all the time. For us to finish top 4 has been brilliant. Anyway, back to the transfer, I would love these guys to come in, because it would not only mean that we've got depth, but we've got quality depth. Quality depth. They would be making, arguably, not even arguably, they would be making a step up to a bigger club, doing Champions League competition. They would be making that step up in their career. That would be a forward move for them. Certainly not, slagging off Newcastle or anything like that, but you have to say it would be a step forward. The difficulty getting these guys out of their clubs right now would be that Newcastle look like they could be on the up and up, depending on the funding that they get. And to be honest, the same could be said of Burnley. And Burnley are going to be in the Europa League next year. I believe that is correct. They are going to be in the Europa League, so they have actually got European football. Both of these players might actually be a fan of sticking around the clubs that they've been working hard in and achieving with. And when I say achieve, obviously they haven't got any trophies yet, but they have done massive strides. Newcastle coming up from the Championship and finishing in the top 10. Unbelievable stuff for Newcastle, and they'll be wanting to push on as long as Rafa Benitez gets the funding and he sticks around as a manager. Burnley, similar sort of situation. They have done more with so much less than most teams around them, and they have finished. I think they finished 7th this season. They were almost, if results had gone their way, and maybe if they'd got a result against Arsenal, they could have finished above Arsenal. They could have been number 6. They could have been part of the top 6. Massive strides have been made, and the difficulty will be getting them out of those projects that look like they're trying to build towards bigger things. And also, it is rumoured that if we were to go in for them, then both not going to be available for less than 25 million. But for me, we spent 75 million on Van Dijk. We knew what we were getting, and we've seen the player that he is at Liverpool and how much better he could be next year. We've got to build on this, and we've got to spend seriously if we're going to actually reinforce these positions with quality players, and I'd love us to go out and get those players. I really would. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that one. The next one is a bit of an out there one. It would be Donnarumma from AC Milan. Now, that one I think is a non-starter straight away, because I think if he's going to go anywhere outside of AC Milan, he would go to Juventus. He would replace Gigi Buffon. So for me, it's a non-starter, because getting him out of AC Milan would be difficult anyway. Getting him out of Serie A, I don't know whether he would do that. I think the only club really that would take him out of Serie A could be Real Madrid, which was the rumours last season. So I think it would be difficult. Would I like him to come to Liverpool? Absolutely I would. But would that also hinder the progress of Karius? I don't know, because I would like to see Mignolet get moved on, but which one of these guys would you make a number 2? We've just made Karius number 1, and he's been playing and improving very well since then. You can't then bring in someone like Donnarumma and say, right, you're going to go from being a number 1 at AC Milan and being amazing, by the way, we're going to make you a number 2, and vice versa. You can't do that to Karius, because then Karius would lose all confidence, I think, the manager. Is he losing confidence in me? What have I done wrong? Why is this guy that's coming younger, and I would say he's got better ability right now, but could get better. What do I have to do here? I've been second to Mignolet, then I become first, then you bring in another younger keeper, and now I'm second again. I think, to be honest, what will happen is, if we are going to go for another goalkeeper, it would be someone slightly, maybe of the same level as Karius, maybe a little bit below, but I'd like it to be at least the same, so that if Karius does have to come out of the team for whatever reason, for rest or injury, then we've got similar quality. But to bring someone in like Donnarumma, I don't think it would happen. And to be honest, I think he's most likely, for me, would go to Juventus. Or if he's going outside of Serie A, he will go to Real Madrid. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think of that one. And the last one is Talisca from Besiktas, who is on loan from Benfica. And apparently he scored 20 goals in all competitions this season from centre mid. He's a 6-foot centre mid. And he looks like an extremely talented Brazilian centre mid as well. Heavily linked to Manchester United as well, and is apparently said to have some sort of pre-agreement with Man United, but nothing has really been confirmed on that front. And the front runners for his signature seem to be Liverpool and Man United. Now, for us, I'd love any player like that to come in, especially if you're looking to refresh or look to refresh and look to the future for your centre mid area, because we've already built him with Naby Keita. Then you got to look at Milner. Milner's brilliant and he's excellent, but you can't ignore the fact that he is aging and will one day, maybe in a season or two's time, he's going to be maybe moving on or retiring. That's just my thoughts there anyway. I love the guy and I hope he continues as long as he can. But eventually we're going to be looking to refresh that area. In my opinion, the way I'm looking at it right now, we're losing Emre Can. So we're going to lose a player there that could do well for us. Oxlade-Chamberlain might not be available till November, December. We don't know how that injury is going to go, and we have to preempt, in my mind, that he may get an injury delay. Something might go wrong, and in my opinion, we've got to prepare for that, because if he's not going to be here for us and ready, because then you think he comes back from injury in about November, December, he's going to be up to full match fitness in about maybe January, something like that. That's a long time to be without someone with that kind of energy. Now, with the contributions that he's had, whether it's the Turkish league or not, 20 goals in all competitions is a decent return for a centre mid. I would bring someone like that in, and then you'd look at the depth that we would have. Stick Milner around when Oxlade-Chamberlain is fit. Milner, Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Gini Wijnaldum, Adam Lallana if he's still going to be around, Naby Keita. That's 7, I think, so far. That would be a lot. I might have actually miscounted that one. Hang on, let's go. Milner, Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Adam Lallana. I can't even think of who I've actually included right now. Naby Keita, and if we got Talisca, that's 7. I think that is. So if you got that's ridiculous squad depth, and then you can also play around with formations a lot more as well. Loads of different options there. As I've said, with all of these transfers, apart from Donnarumma, I have seen quite a bit of him. Haven't really seen and Lascelles and Tarkowski. The other ones I haven't really seen a great deal of, if at all, to be honest with you. I've not seen Talisca play in real life whatsoever, so I cannot comment on what he's actually like in a centre mid position. But from what you hear, yeah, he sounds like everything that you would want in a centre mid, and you'd love him in your midfield. But if we get heavier linked to any of these transfers here, any of these ones I've talked about today, like Ceballos, Lascelles, Tarkowski, Donnarumma and Talisca, if we get linked with heavily, anything seems like it's making tracks, I will do that transfer. I can't even remember what I called it before. Transfer news, transfer analysis. I would do a transfer analysis on those players. I'm not going to analyse everything deeply like I did with the Fekir one. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on any of the transfer rumours that we have been linked with here. Let me know any information you might have, anything you might have heard, read, whatever it might be. Get it in the comments below and let's have a discussion. And then it'll all fuel into a future video. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thanks so much again, and I will catch you later.